hello, my friend. I'm so glad that you're here today to hear a story once again. I know that you would love to hear Jaden speak, and don't worry, you still will get to, but he's going to be playing the characters while I tell you the story. So without further ado, let us step back 2,000 years ago to a story where Jesus is our lead character. The people in that time loved to hear Jesus speak, and sometimes huge crowds would gather to hear him. On this one particular occasion near the Sea of Galilee, so many people gathered that Jesus was forced to go step into a boat to preach to the people who were standing there ashore.
And that's what I said. You don't add parsley till the end. And don't forget to feed the cat.
And at the end of the day, Jesus and his disciples were so tired and they needed to get away. So then they got their boat ready and sailed out into the Sea of Galilee.
Jesus, we gotta go.
She's right. Bye, everyone. Bye. Till next time.
Jesus was so tired that he got a cushion for a bed and then almost immediately just fell asleep. Now, these disciples, some of them were fishermen, so they knew all kinds of things about sailing a boat.
This water is so peaceful. It's gonna be so easy to fish in.
They were happy that the water was nice and calm and peaceful. They could relax. But soon things were about to change, and it seemed like the storm came out of nowhere.
Oh my gosh. Jesus! Jesus, wake up! The storm is getting crazy!
These guys were fishermen. They knew when it was going to be safe to go out to sea and when it was not. So this storm had to really be a huge shock for them, for the storm to have just appeared out of nowhere. And sometimes that happens at sea and in our lives. So, that being said, let's get back to our story. The wind began to blow and the waves pushed the boat around. Soon it all turned into a very bad storm. The waves became so big that they were filling the boat with water. During all of the excitement, there was only one person on the boat who was not worried. Can you guess who that was? You're right, Jesus. He was not worried because, well, he was fast asleep. And perhaps he knew that there really wasn't anything to truly fear. But the storm became so violent that the men began to think, would the boat sink? They thought that they might all drown. And they woke up Jesus and told him that they were going to drown. Jesus, do you not care if we all die? They said to him.
The storm is getting crazy. Do you not care if we're gonna die?
Change shirts or something?
No, this is not the time. What are you talking about?
Looks something.
I don't know. Are you just gonna...
Chill out.
chill out?
How can you sleep during the storm? Come and help us. But Jesus saw the storm and he was not afraid at all. He looked out at the waves and the water and he said to the sea, "Quiet, be still."
Quiet! Be still!
And guess what happened? The storm stopped. The water became calm and the wind stopped blowing. Jesus looked at the disciples and said, "Why are you so afraid? Where is your faith?"
Why are you guys so afraid? Where's your faith?
The disciples, of course, were all amazed. They knew that Jesus was very special. They just didn't quite understand how it is that Jesus could control the sea. Jesus was the only one who could make even a storm obey him. This story sounds incredible, doesn't it? It's something that we wish we could do as well. Don't you wish that you could calm a storm? I know I do. Particularly in our world today. It seems that we are surrounded by a lot of storms. And what if I told you that you could, in fact, help calm a storm? When Jesus calmed the storm, he did so not because he was the only one, but because his disciples didn't believe that they could help. And a few years later, when Jesus would leave, he would remind them that they too could perform miracles. They could help calm storms. And in a world like today where we are filled with storms, Jesus is looking to us to help. Can we help calm the storms? I think we can. We can stand up for justice. We can be kind and generous. We can love and show others what it means to love. We can try to understand and learn more. This is just getting us started, though. There's so many ways we can help calm the storms in our lives and in the world around us when we are peacemakers, when we are justice bringers, and when we hope for God's love to be shared amongst the world and being a part of those who would bring that love. Now, as always, there's so many stories that we could tell, but they'll just have to wait until next time. And until then, remember, be kind, do good, and love your neighbors. Bye.
Ugly.
No!